Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to your Lunch Break Live. My name is Savannah Herrenque if you're new here, and if you're not, thank you for coming back. Today is Wednesday, June the 15th, and it is another hot day across Alabama. Today, I am joined by our AL.com weather reporter, Leigh Morgan, and Leigh is here today to talk about something that we've all kind of been talking about in our own side conversations and in our personal lives, and that is this abnormal? Are we in a hotter spell than what June normally is in Alabama? So Leigh's going to talk a little bit about that today and also give us an idea if we have any relief in sight. So Leigh, let's just first start off by saying it is hot as anything outside, but is this abnormal for June in Alabama, or did we just kind of forget how hot it can be?
Oh, well, unfortunately, it is a little bit abnormal for June. It's hot in June. It's Alabama. It's always going to be hot in June, and it's going to get, typically it gets hotter as the month goes on, and as the summer we get deeper into summer. But usually around, we have highs about this time of year in the mid to high 80s, or just around 90 degrees. So we're experiencing heat right now, mid to upper 90s. So that is unusual for this early in the summer. It's just, and then the humidity is not making it any better. The humidity values are really high, and those two things are combining to make it feel even hotter than the air temperature is.
Well, I know that I've heard from several people, and I even looked myself this morning in my weather app when I first was getting up and I let my dogs outside and I thought, God, this is hot. And I checked the index, the heat index was about 90 degrees, and that was at like 7:30 this morning, or at least almost 90 degrees. And that index, put away the temperature, if it's what it feels like temperature
Right.
is 90 or 89 that early in the day, it just doesn't really make you have any motivation to go outside at all.
No, it doesn't. And it hasn't been getting cool at night either. Like Birmingham last night, for example, it had a record high low temperature, if that makes sense. So the low temperature overnight in Birmingham was 77 degrees. That's a record. It's always been cooler than that, right? So you're not even getting any relief at night. And that's what makes these kind of heat waves so dangerous. It's those prolonged effects over periods of days that can just build up. And especially, I know it's hard to believe that there are people that don't have air conditioning, even in this state. And that's what makes it so dangerous.
Well, and we also know the city of Birmingham, I'm sure other places around the state have as well. I just have not seen anything about it. But I even saw this morning the city of Birmingham has opened several cooling stations, or a cooling station for the homeless population to come and get cool during that heat of the day. Now, we talk a little bit about, Leigh, you were just saying, this is why it's dangerous. So let's talk a little bit about how dangerous some of this hot weather can be. I know this is something you sent me about weather fatalities, and this was last year. So how does this compare with other years, and does the heat have any type of effect on these numbers?
Yeah, if you look at this, and it's really surprising to a lot of people, heat on average is the biggest cause of weather related fatalities. And this is looking at the United States as a whole. Now, you've got flooding is up there, and you've got rip currents, believe it or not, there. But heat, and those numbers show the red is the 2021 numbers, the blue is the 10-year average, and then the yellow is the, can you read it? I got my glasses.
The
The
30-year
30-year
average.
average. And so heat is far and away consistently the thing that kills the most people. And you don't think about that being, you worry about tornadoes, you worry about hurricanes coming, but not the heat. It sneaks up on you, we know it's hot, but signs of heat illnesses, can sneak up on you. So, and that was the biggest weather related killer last year. So that's why these heat advisories and all that is a big deal. You've got to, maybe you have air conditioning, but you need to check on people that may not, to make sure they're staying cool. Because this kind of heat, a fan may not cut it. You're going to need a little bit more than that, especially when you can't catch any relief at night.
This graphic, I have to say, you sent this to me, Lee, so we could talk about it today. And this kind of blew my mind. The fact that heat was the leading cause of weather fatalities, both in the last 30 years, in the last 10 years, and last year, just the overall leading cause of weather related deaths
Right.
is pretty incredible. I think we all talk about it and maybe kind of even poke fun about, oh my gosh, I'm going to have a heat stroke today. It's so hot. But that is a real thing. And that is things that people are dying of, whether it be heat related illness or other things related to the heat. So, Lee, what do people need to know to protect themselves from the heat? If you are working outside, if you are exercising outside, what should people know maybe when it's time to go in and cool off? Or if you don't have air conditioning, find a place where you can cool off.
Right. That's exactly what you just said. And, the hottest part of the day is generally like a heat advisory is going to be in effect from right 11 a.m. this morning till 7. So in that time period is when you want to really take it easy, especially from around 11 to about 3 or 4. That's when it's really hot. If you'll look at the National Weather Service, they'll have their the high temperatures for the day, and they also record when they had that high temperature. And it's usually between 2 and 3 o'clock is that really hot part of the day where it just peaks. So it's the stuff your mom always told you. Stay in the shade, drink lots of water, wear loose fitting clothing, don't exert yourself in the sun if you don't have to. Get inside during that hottest part of the day if you can. And there are a lot of people, unfortunately, don't have that luxury, that are working or are doing whatever they need to do, but you just take breaks if at all possible and get out of that sun and just drink water. And try to rest up as much as you can. That's the best you can do right now, because it's oppressive is a good word for it right now.
Well, and a lot of people, Lee, say, look, it's just starting. It is June. So is this something that we should look at as a sign for an extra hot summer? Or is this just a heat wave that will go as quickly as it came and then we'll go back to a normal Alabama summer?
Right. There aren't any signs that this is a long-term thing. Now, we are looking at these above normal temperatures to last into next week, unfortunately. But as far as the entire summer, yeah, it's going to get hotter this summer. It always does. And we've always had heat waves come and go. They're not a regular thing, but they do happen. So this is just one of those things. The climate varies, it changes. And it's just one of these things that unfortunately happens. It's just happening. Usually we expect this kind of heat in August, right? And even September sometimes, but not June. Usually June, it really starts to warm up, but we don't have readings this high. It's just one of the, a weather pattern, and it will break like anything does. We just got to tough it out for the next week or two.
Well, and you talk about toughing it out, which again, I don't know that anybody enjoys hearing you say that, Lee. I know I don't. We're both rocking the ponytail today, getting that hair off of our neck because it is so hot, even in my air conditioned home. So, Lee, I'm going to pull up another map here. This is one you sent me, and this is about some rain, some possible storms today. So, tell us, is there any rain coming to cool us down? Again, this is the outlook for today.
Yeah, well, we hope so, right? Now, this is the severe weather outlook for today. The areas in yellow have a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. So severe thunderstorms is what we're looking at, not tornadoes, but severe thunderstorms. The areas in the dark green have a level 1 out of 5 risk. So the areas in yellow have scattered severe thunderstorms will be possible this afternoon and into this evening. And the areas in dark green will have more isolated storms. So not everybody's going to see rain. Unfortunately, it's going to be very scattered in nature. And but when storms do get going, they have the potential to pulse up and become intense quick and have a lot of lightning, have some winds that can take down trees. I mean, we've had, lots of trees down yesterday in parts of South and East Alabama from storms that came through. More of the same today. And what's unusual is that normally in Alabama, we look for our storms to come from the west, right? From Mississippi and Tennessee and move over us. This time they're going to be coming in from the east. So you need to be watching Georgia. And because storms will be moving from the east to the west and maybe a little south of west. So that's this is the way that the upper air pattern is this time. So And not everybody will see rain. We're talking scattered at best, and you can hope you get some rain, but not a storm. But we're kind of, what do you want? Do you want a severe thunderstorm, or do you want the incredible heat? I don't know. But this is the outlook for today. They'll update it again here in a few minutes within the hour. They update it periodically through the day. So it doesn't mean everybody's going to get a storm, but there's a chance that if you do get one, it could become a strong one. So just keep an eye out for that, especially going in through the rest of the afternoon.
Well, and Leigh, this storm coming in, is this something that we should be saying, oh, thank goodness this is coming, it's going to cool off? Or is it really just going to make things worse with the humidity, with that moisture in the air?
Oh, that's true. I can already see the steam rising off the pavement now, but it will knock a couple degrees off the temperatures for a while. So, it's a brief break from it, but that heat will come right back. So, but it will help, just take a few degrees off temporarily. Hey, we'll take what we can get at this point, right?
What are we looking at for the next week or so? Leigh, I know you said that this heat wave is going to continue into next week. Should we be looking for more of these chances of these scattered or isolated storms, or is it just going to be a just straight heat wave without any chances of severe weather for the next couple of days?
Well, typically in the summertime in Alabama, you're going to have what they call popcorn type rain and storms. They just pop up here and there, and it's really difficult to predict where they're going to, which location is going to get hit because they're very small scale features. But over the next week, we will see those happen. Now, there's not a widespread chance of severe weather for the next few days for Alabama right now. Now that can always change, but right now they're looking at the chance of scattered storms, but not widespread severe storms like today. Now, over the weekend on Saturday, we might have a front come through, not a cold front, but a front. And while it's not going to make temperatures, it's not going to cool us off. It's going to take some of that places north of that front, and hopefully it makes it all the way down to the coast. We'll have a little bit drier air come in behind it. So while it's still going to be really hot, highs in the mid 90s at least over the weekend, it might not feel quite as horrible because the humidity won't be quite as high. Now, is that going to last long? No. This is Alabama. This is how it goes. But and we're looking at next week more hot and humid weather, unfortunately, and it could be a little bit hotter. There's a chance. I'm sorry, don't kill the messenger, but there is a chance that we're going to be looking at more of the same next week, and maybe we'll see if anybody can hit that triple-digit mark. We might come close today. We had a couple of 99-degree high temperatures yesterday in Alabama, but next week will be one to watch again for the heat. So sorry.
None of this is great news, Leigh. I guess the only good news here is at least we know what's coming and it hopefully can stay inside. This is also a reminder to always double check your car when you get out of it. Make sure there are no pets left in your car, and to make sure there are no children left in your car, or people in general, or anything living left in your car, or any other hot environment there. It is just one of those times where this heat can just quickly multiply. If you were in a vehicle or somewhere without any ventilation, this heat we know can multiply very quickly and become extremely and life-threateningly hot very fast.
Yes,
Leigh, thank you so much for all of your information here. I know you're going to keep your weather posts updated on AL.com throughout the day. You can also find all of those on AL.com/weather. We're also going to leave a link here as well to Leigh's reporting from this morning. So, Leigh, thank you. I mean, I'm not thanking you for what you said here, but thank you for keeping us all updated and reminding us to, again, hydrate, stay in the shade, and make sure you do not, again, leave children, pets. Make sure everybody is in a cool environment, or the coolest environment you can get them in. So everybody watching, thank you so much. Try to stay cool out there, and we will see you tomorrow.